Is that against Twitch TOS talking about?
I don't even know if anybody can hear us right now.
Okay, well now they can, so let's not talk about it.
No, okay, well,
Okay,
no,
we
they
won't
can,
talk about it.
so we're just gonna not. Okay, okay.
Mhm.
So, welcome to the wonderful, amazing diagram that I made, that I stayed up all night making.
Like a
It
normal
works
human
really
being.
nice.
that's okay.
It gets more unhinged as it goes on. I promise you.
great.
I'm still wondering about Sasuke.
He's just a part
You're
of the
gonna find
meme.
out.
So
Oh, I see. Why is she holding him like that?
that's what I'm saying.
didn't
It's
see
a
that
part of the
before?
meme.
Have you not seen that meme?
No.
Yeah,
Wow.
literally, I saw that picture of her, and then all of the ones underneath on Google Images were a bunch of other people holding him up by his throat.
Damn.
So, anyways,
Or Sasuke. Okay.
hello, and welcome to me describing Luna to people that do not care about Luna.
Let's go.
I'm not only going to be describing the lore, but I'm also going to be describing their entire thing, which is more than just lore.
Nice.
But I covered everything up because I didn't want you to get overwhelmed, because I knew it was gonna be a lot.
Can't wait.
So
I'm
that's
gonna be
why.
overwhelmed
I
anyway.
kind of wish Hide was here
So
just to see.
you know, that's Hide's fault. I tried to get him, but he had to go see his grandmother. So,
He did have to go see his grandmother.
so
Oh, we weren't
anyways.
talking about grandmothers.
Not
Anyways.
yours.
No, we weren't.
Not yours.
we're not bringing that up again.
No.
So, as you can tell, I used a lovely amount of memes of the girls to cover them up. This is a little spoiler on what's hidden underneath this. This is the face that I made trying to get this entire thing under wraps, because this is the lore section. And then this is this, and then a lovely, yeah, I'm a bad bitch, you can't kill me. We'll get
I'm a
there.
bad bitch. You can't kill
I
me.
figured we should start somewhere relatively simple.
Simple.
So we're gonna start at their logo.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
We're gonna start at their logo. Why is this an okay moment? Why are you like...
Like you can't. I didn't see it.
I know, right? That's the fun part. Okay, so we're gonna start
Oh,
at the
this is scary,
logo.
kind of.
So,
Terrified.
this is their logo. Technically, this is how they spell their name, with the lovely little arch and the triangle.
Okay.
And then this is their actual Korean name, which is Idari Sonyo. Forgive me, I'm not Korean. I don't even work here. It stands for Girl of the Month. And it
Okay.
refers to their entire debut process and how it worked. And they literally took the consonants from the Hangul of each of the specific letters. So a little O, an N, another O, something that kind of looks like an A, and then an L. And they took these and they rearranged them to do LOONA.
All right.
Get it?
I love the visual representation that you provided. I really do appreciate that.
Yeah, no, I do too. Thank you.
So what we're
Why
going to
does
cover
the N
for
still
what?
look like a C?
Because it's on its side, but when it goes together, it goes down like this.
What's
like a
the line
staple.
mean then?
The line. I'm glad you asked.
What line?
The slash right here.
Oh,
Yeah, the slash.
So the slash is supposed to represent how each and every one of them are an individual character, because the way that it's formatted when they had their singles and their subunits is it was LOONA / whatever the girl's name or the unit's name was, and that's how they released it. So basically it's supposed to represent all of their individuality within an entire unit of 12 girls. You're welcome.
Sure.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go here, and then we're gonna go here, and then we're gonna go here, and then we're gonna go here. So let's start.
Oh.
Let's
I see
start
things.
by
Oh,
raising.
God.
So here we have something that I already showed Shinny and Hide, and Sarah saw a snippet of it too. I added a bit of things and, you know, went to it. This is their entire pre-debut process. So they were called Girl of the Month because every month, basically, not every other month, but there was some that took a while, but every month within this 2-year period, they debuted one of their 12 members and a subunit having to do with the members that debuted. So if we start in October 5th of 2016, we'll start with the lovely girl Heejin. Her name is Heejin. Her color is vivid pink. Her animal is a rabbit. Her flower is a false shamrock. Don't ask me why the flowers are here. It's a whole different thing.
What is a false shamrock? Is that just the 3 one?
No, it's actually a separate flower. False shamrock is just what it's a
Time
kind
to
of
Google
a
what it is.
slang term for
Okay.
it, but it's an actual thing.
Oh.
And all of the girls from the first 5 have
Oh, it's
locations
pretty.
associated with them, and hers is Paris, France. And
Okay.
her song that she released a jazz pop song. And I put this here because I wanted to emphasize all of the very different genres that they kept releasing songs with.
Okay.
And so the next girl, Hyunjin, her color is yellow and her animal is a cat. Shinny, you should feel at home. Her flower is the forget-me-not. You should know what
Just
that
because
is.
they're a cat doesn't mean that we're related, okay?
I didn't say you're related.
not how
I
it
just said
works.
feel at home.
I don't feel at home. I don't know this person. This
Don't
is a
you
random
know
person.
her?
No.
Have you ever
I
seen
remember
her?
a name of
Have you
another
seen
person,
this
but
woman
not-
before?
I
seen her?
can get
Now
really
you have.
racist in like 2 seconds if you keep
Oh
asking
my
me this.
gosh.
No.
Anyways, her location was Tokyo, Japan. With these girls specifically, the main reason that they have locations is because all of their music videos were typically filmed in those locations.
Oh.
Either their music videos or their music videos and the teasers that they had pictures done with ahead of time. So her song was a quote-unquote adult contemporary song. Now to me, it kind of just sounded like a melancholic ballad, which
Well,
K-pop loves, let me tell you. But the next member is Hassel. Hassel is the green girl.
I love
And-
how it's just
What?
it's just a white bird. That's
To be
how
fair,
the
okay,
animal
to
is.
be fair, I think it's technically a dove, but from what I was reading, there was no actual specifics that like mentioned it was a dove. So I just said white bird because
white
she's
bird.
not the only one that has a white kind of bird as her animal. I'll get to her later.
Okay.
Okay.
Her flower is magnolia and her country is Iceland or London, England, because the music video she filmed for her single was in Iceland, but the photos that she took were in London, England, where she wore a blonde wig and looked like a boy.
Oh,
Okay.
And her
Okay.
song is a classical crossover, which is basically when there's pop elements, but majority of the time there's classical instruments that almost invoke an orchestral feeling to them.
okay.
It's a really pretty song. I'm surprised even I like it because I wouldn't think I would like this kind of song. And then we have Yojin. Now, Yojin is orange, and she's also a frog. And her flower is a daisy, and her country is Taipei, Taiwan.
daisies.
And a fun fact is that she is not in the subunit of these girls because when she first debuted, she was 14.
Oh.
Oh.
So she was still very much in school.
And very much a baby.
And
Okay.
the fact that her shape is a rhombus rather than a square is important. I'll tell you why later. And her song is a big band / candy pop song. It sounds very musical-esque. So
So I'd probably like it.
maybe.
This is
It's also
this
very
is just
cutesy.
fine.
It's also very
Candy
cutesy.
I like-
pop.
I like cutesy.
Oh yeah. So
Between the frog and the daisy and like the musicalness, this is just
Yeah.
And
So
she's
I would-
extremely short. So honestly, this could just be you, Sarah, in
well,
a
this
different
is
body.
Sarah.
No.
And then we have Vivi. And Vivi is a... We'll get into it. Vivi, her color is pink. And her animal is a deer. And her flower is gerbera. And her country is Hong Kong or Busan, South Korea. But most of the stuff she filmed was in Hong Kong. And her song was a synth pop song, which kind of it reminded me of like 90s early K-pop. That's what it sounded like to me. Where if you can think of like what 90s songs sounded like, think that, but instead it's like I love you, I need you, in a sweet tone. Because that's what her songs are called. Every day I love you, every day I need you. And the thing is, these four, Yojin's not here, these four form the unit LOONA 1/3. Not a very creative name, I know. And also, they came out on my birthday.
Oh.
It is raining.
it is raining, yes.
It came out on my birthday, and technically speaking, this album came out before Vivi debuted as a soloist. Because she was the mysterious member that they were adding to form 1/3. And then they later had a repackage of Love and Evil. Because this was supposed to be the evil side of Love and Live. Not Live, it's actually called Love and Live.
Okay.
So
Okay.
they don't look evil at all.
That's not the point.
Okay.
I will
They
get
really
to
don't,
what the
but-
point means later. Save the questions until they're going to be answered. So now, from April 17, 2017 to May 23rd, 2017, we have Kim Lip. Her color is red. Her animal is the owl. Her flower is the red rose. And her superpower is time travel.
Wait.
Oh boy.
When
When
did
do
we
we
get
get
to
the superpower?
Now you may be wondering, why do they have superpowers now?
Just that.
And you know what I'll
Yeah.
tell you? Save your questions until later. She released with an urban R&B track that sounds very soothing but also sexy. Because essentially
Soothing, sexy.
what happened between the 1/3 girls versus the Odd Eye Circle girls is that they were an innocent concept. They were a sexy concept. So
Definitely can tell in the photos.
after Kim Lip debuted, next came Jin Soul, and her color is blue or black. She has two colors, and her
Ooh,
animal is a blue beta fish.
Hey, I had that fish.
Congratulations.
Yay!
I thought I'd share.
Her flower was an Erica. That's a flower, I promise you. Her superpower is space travel.
Okay.
And she
Wait, she's a
released
spaceship.
no. She released a
an
future
alien.
based song. And then after her came Cherry. We're just gonna call her Cherry, even though it's like Twitty, but it doesn't matter. So her color is purple. Her animal is a fruit bat, and her color is purple, but also white. Also has dual colors. Her flower is the pink Cosmo, and her superpower is dimensional travel. Ooh.
So all I want to do with travel.
And she has a fruit associated with her.
I noticed there was a sudden fruit added.
It's a cherry.
Wait,
I
go back.
wonder why.
Go back real quick to the other two. Okay, so they're both circles. Okay, they're all circles so far.
These three are circles. You may notice. Good eye, Sarah. And now,
Wait, that sound like an AI.
Cherry released an electropop song with some scary, weird stuff in the middle. And then they released as Odd Eye Circle with the EP of Mix and Match, and later the repackage of Max and Match.
Hi, Mikey.
I
Hi,
can't
Mikey.
see the chat, so that's up to you guys to
You've entered hell, Mikey.
So, as you can tell, two of them are blonde, one of them is brunette.
Why
Moving
did you
on.
say they understood the assignment?
Moving
Wait.
on.
Wait, what are you?
You didn't see the sign?
Moving on, we have. How
okay.
do you think this name is pronounced?
Yes.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Is it Ives?
Close.
Eves?
Even closer.
Yves?
Yes.
There's two silent letters.
There's two silent letters.
Yes.
It's
Eve?
Eve.
It's Eve. Okay.
Her name is Eve, even if it doesn't look like it. Her animal is a swan. See what I was talking about with the white bird thing? Her color is burgundy. Her flower is a tuberose. Her fruit is an apple. And her emotion is faith.
Why did we suddenly go into emotion?
Look. Save your questions. We already went over this.
Right. You're right.
Everyone beyond the Odd Eye Circle now has fruits and emotions. Everyone before it don't feel anything. So her song that she released was a Soultronica song. You might be wondering, what the fuck is Soultronica?
Well, it's a
So was
mixture of
I.
soul and electronica.
Exactly. Shinny's a smart cookie. Now moving on. Also, you might notice that she is a triangle, and so is Chu, which is the next member that debuted. Chu has the color of peach, and she has the animal of penguin. Her flower is a tulip, her fruit is a strawberry, and her emotion is love. And the song that she released was a synth pop / Christmas song, because I swear to God, it sounds like a Christmas song.
I have like the aftertones of Jingle Bells in it.
Kind of, but not quite.
Oh boy.
It's like a mix. So then after her, we have Go On. Go On.
Come on.
And as you might notice, she is an inverted triangle compared to the rest of them.
Dorito!
What?
She's a Dorito.
Oh,
Remember I called her Dorito?
we'll get into it. Her animal is a butterfly. Her color is Eden green, because as you can tell,
Hi, Luna.
it's different than Hassel's green color. Her flower is the plum blossom. Her fruit is a pineapple. And her emotion is hope. And she released a synth pop song too. Then we have Olivia Hay. Olivia Hay is the final member to debut as a soloist, and her animal is the wolf. Her color is either silver or black. She also has dual colors. Her flower is a lobelia, and her fruit is a blood plum, and her emotion is anger. Can't you tell?
Yep.
I like her.
Yeah, I like her too.
And she released an electropop song, but it was kind of a bit freaky. So if we move on, they make up the unit YY by Y, which stands for Youth Youth by Young. You don't have to say it the entire time. And their album was called Beauty and the Beat. Thank you.
So they ripped it off from Nicki Minaj.
And then, after that was released
Ignore
in May of 2018, they
Here's the
released
question.
their first pre-debut single as an entire group, which was called Favorite. Thank you.
Why does it look like that?
Because there's an O and a T. That's all. And
Okay.
so-
Wait, hold on. Explain why one triangle's different than the others. Why is one a Dorito, as Shinny called it?
we will get into that, just like we'll get into how Yojin is a rhombus. So, this was the timeline of their pre-debut. It spanned from 2016 to 2018. Now, I'm gonna get into the logistics as to where they come from, because I think it's important. So,
Oh my god, quit.
there is this giant conglomerate company called Ilkwang Group.
Oh my god, what the
Called Ilkwang Group. And
Wait.
Ilkwang has its grubby little hands in a lot of things.
is this a military thing?
Yes, they
okay.
have dedicated various military supporting projects, as well as dedicated police and Coast Guard non-military related supporting projects. Whatever this means. The Technology Institute of Affiliate of Technological Projects.
Science.
An
Science.
educational foundation. A corporation for Saram.
I thought that was gonna say spam, but
A social welfare foundation, a Polaris Mnet, a normal Polaris, and the Film Awards. But this is what we're focusing on. Ilkwang Polaris. What is Ilkwang Polaris also known as? Polaris Entertainment. And what is a subsidiary of Polaris Entertainment? Blockberry Creative. And who does Blockberry Creative own? LOONA. So I want you to guess. Shinny already knows the answer. You're not allowed to participate. I
Okay.
want you to guess how much you think this entire pre-debut process costed Blockberry Creative.
Costed
Yes, in American US dollars.
in American US dollars. So that's, you said 12 girls, right?
12 girls, each had singles, each with music videos, and they had subunits, each with music videos.
I'm gonna guess like $4 million.
I was gonna guess like 8 million.
Ooh, so close.
Ooh.
$8.9 million.
very close.
So close.
It cost them over $8.9 million just for their entire pre-debut process. This was before they were an actual full group together.
Oh damn.
Jesus.
So, as you may tell, this is a weird way to debut a K-pop group. And if you're unaware, a pre-debut is typically something that is like maybe 1 or 2 songs before a group fully debuts, just to kind of build hype for them. Except this was all of the members as their own thing. And their whole concept was that they all can stand alone as solo artists and unit artists. And together they will all unite to form LOONA. Thank you. So now I will show you a brief portion that is after their debut, which is their albums. Their post-debut
okay.
albums and singles, and their inevitable disbandment, because that's something that happened too. And then after I cover this, I will get into the dreaded lore section. So-
Not the dreaded.
In August of 2018, they had their pre-release single, which was Favorite, but then they also had their debut EP, Plus Plus. That's what it was called. And this is
They
where
were not very creative on the names, were they?
it gets worse. This is where they introduced all 12 members. And as you can see, it's all of the subunits, and Yojin is alone. So,
Rip.
moving on from August of 2018, we then go to February of 2019, where a repackage of Plus Plus, now called XX, was distributed with a new title track, and I want to say like 3 to 4 new songs. And the title track was called Butterfly. Can you tell why? And now, in between the period of when they had XX and then Sharp, that's what this is called, they had their main creative director leave the company. Jaden Jung, essentially. He was the main person that came up with the entire concept behind the pre-debut process and whatever the hell the lore is going to be. And he was the main one that had those ideas. And he ended up leaving the company early on because of disagreements between him and the company. And this is when we start to see resentment from the fans towards Blockberry Creative. Originally, the resentment was directed towards Jaden Jung because they thought that he was abandoning his project with the girls. Now, people think he's the nice one. Everybody hates Blockberry. So, if we move on to the next album, which is in 2020, mind you, because this period of time is also known as the Butterfly Drought. I kid you not, because this was basically an entire year-long period where no news was had about what was happening with LOONA.
Oh.
And so the fans were restless. This is why resentment was growing, because everybody didn't like the company. And then after they released this lovely thing called Sharp, not hashtag, we move on to October 19th of 2020. Same year, less of a gap in time, good news. And they released an album called 12 O'Clock. I think. I don't know how you would say this, but it was just called 12. And this was, I think, probably when their popularity in Korea started growing more. Because originally, when they had first debuted with their Plus Plus album, they were much more world-renowned versus popular in South Korea. And so if they went to like KCON LA or something, a lot of people would be looking forward to them versus they wouldn't have as many sales in Korea itself. So this is, I would say, the main turning point of when they started to gain more traction in their own country, even though they were already really popular worldwide. And then this, called And, or Ampersand, depending on what you want to call it, was released the next year in June. And this is when they had, I think, the biggest spike of people finally paying attention to their music, because I think their music videos started to gain close to like 30-40 million per music video in this era.
Got lip stains on her face.
She does. Her name is Chu. And after this is when they started to diversify where they were marketing, because they had already released like an English song here or there on each of the albums. But then they broke into the Japanese market with the single called Hula Hoop. And this was released in the same year, 2021. And yeah, it's a J-pop song. What else can I say?
Okay. Well.
And then from 2021 to 2022, this is when they released their next album, Flip That. I will admit, I was not here for this as much because this was kind of the point. When I said the resentment was growing, I meant it kept growing as each comeback happened. So,
oh wow.
At this point, everyone hated Blockberry. Like, a lot. Everyone hated their company, and this is also when things started to come out about the company, such as the members not being paid since their debut. And,
Jesus.
The mistreatment of like the entirety of their schedules and stuff. And this is also when, the tipping point happened. As you can tell, this is when it happened. So you might notice something between these two photos. Can you tell me what it is?
They're missing somebody, isn't they?
They are, you smart cookie. They're missing a member. That is because Chu got kicked out of the group.
Why?
Now, the funny part about this is I don't think BBC, truly, not British Broadcasting, Blockberry Creative, I don't think Blockberry fully understood how much this action would have consequences, because they were already kind of on thin ice. And this was like, Chu to put it in perspective, Chu is probably one of the most beloved members because of her personality of being extremely nice and extremely like upbeat and bubbly and positive. And do you want to know why they kicked out Chu? They kicked out Chu because they said that she was abusive towards staff. To which the staff literally defended her and said she's only ever been nice to us.
Damn.
Oh wow.
Why did they actually kick her out?
You know, that's a good question that I
wonder
don't
if
think.
she was advocating for the group.
Well, that's the funny part. They all hated Blockberry too because it was no surprise, or like it was not a secret because they had lives and stuff in the past where they had like made offhand comments about how their company sucked. And so
I mean, yeah, they were getting paid for fucking years.
when this happened, this is when it really took a tipping point, because then we have Luminous. This was another Japanese single, as you can tell by the name. And they're now missing Chu. Now, these singles were not nearly as substantial as the albums, and because they were in the Japanese market, they probably weren't going to be as popular to Korean fans either. And then, after Luminous, they announced another album. This album never came out. Because at this point, right after Chu was kicked out, everyone essentially trended the term boycott BBC because no one was watching their videos anymore and no one was buying the albums, specifically because they didn't like the company. Not because of the girls, but because their company sucked. And so this is when we see a major dip in views and such for all of the stuff related to LOONA under BBC, because the announcement trailer for this, and I'm pretty sure every other video that they had ever released, had officially been downloaded and re-uploaded so people could watch it without giving money or views to BlackBerry. And so this was the album that they announced with 11 members instead, and it was officially canceled when they realized, oh shit, this is bad.
Hell hath no fury like a K-pop fandom.
And what's even funnier is that this was followed by all of the members suing BlackBerry to get out of their contracts.
Good.
Yeah, you love to see it. Girl power.
They needed to. Did Chu also?
Chu, because she was kicked out, she was already out of the contract, so she was free at that moment, and everyone was basically just hoping that she was okay. And we'll get to stuff that happened afterwards when we get there. But basically, all you need to know is they're all out of BlackBerry, and BlackBerry doesn't do anything anymore because they're terrible. And that's what you need to know.
Good.
And so their entire post-debut process lasted from 2018 to 2022. And it was a ride, let me tell you.
That is... Oh my
so
gosh.
Now, I'm going to move on to the lore section. And this is where it's going to get very complicated.
Oh, okay. Well, everybody get your notepads out.
Because the fun part is everything that I've been covering up until now is things that actually happened in real life. Now, this is all not real. It has a lot of concept theory and speculation behind it. Okay, are you ready? Here we are.
Oh, dear Lord.
So, believe it or not, this is the condensed version.
Oh, the condensed version?
So, we're going to start at the beginning with the Loonaverse. Now, in order to understand the Loonaverse, which is the universe in which LOONA's videos and entire cinematic universe exists within, as well as their songs to some extent, you have to understand what a Mobius strip is. Now, you might be wondering, what's a Mobius strip? A Mobius strip is essentially a flat plane that is twisted around once and connected back on itself to create a single plane that only has one side. And it's known as a fourth dimensional object because technically speaking, it cannot truly exist within this plane of existence. And the way that it works is that if one thing goes on this side, it'll have to come around on the other side and eventually loop back to where it started. Does this trigger your arachnophobia, Sarah?
Not necessarily, but it isn't nice to look at.
No,
Okay,
it's not.
then we'll keep that up. So, this is one of the only pieces of lore that has actually ever been officially confirmed by the company itself, making references to it both in text and in video, because this was an official thing that was released on their website. Now, a Mobius strip is a weird object. So you might be wondering, what does this have to do with the Looniverse lore? Well, many people speculate that it is either the shape that the Looniverse is in, universe-wise, and that it is like existing within this weird 4-dimensional plane, or that it is there to represent the 3 distinct dimensions that exist within the Looniverse that have been confirmed, being Earth, Middle Earth, and Eden on different sides, and the flip in between. And so, with that information, we can now go into what is Earth? What is Middle Earth? What is Eden? What are you doing in my house, Garafe? So, let's start with Earth, because this will be the easiest one to cover. This is the first dimensional plane. It is essentially known as the light side, or the nicer side, of the Mobius strip, and it has much more mundane concepts and ideas, such as all of the units from 1/3 having their solo debuts cover things like having a first crush, or liking a guy, or not knowing what to do in a certain situation at school. And so, however, because this is still a fake plane of existence, things like androids and frog princes exist. We'll get to it.
Love the question mark.
And Earth is technically the foundation of the Looniverse, as this is where the main things happen that all of the characters
They
have to get to.
associated with them.
So it's also represented with other people being around. So it's not like they're alone in Earth. There's other stuff going on. They just exist in it.
Now, why do 3 of the members have a line over them?
I'll get to it. So, the members that exist on Earth are Heejin, Hyunjin, Hassel, Yojin, and Vivi. And this is what has to do with 1/3. Heejin, Hyunjin, and Hassel all represent the 3 in the 1/3 of the subunit name. Yojin is the slash because she's lost in a forest. And Vivi.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
And Vivi is the 1. She was the mystery member that was added before she even debuted, and so she was the extra one that was added onto it. By the way, Vivi's an android. Anyways.
Thank you.
Now
Yeah, sure.
we move on to Middle Earth. Middle Earth is described as the in-between of the Mobius strip. So think kind of like, if you were to look at this, they are the fold that goes along the edge that wraps around 2 times. Basically, they can be described as between Earth and the cosmos, because space and cosmic iconography are big representations within the Luna lore, as you will come to see. Basically, because it's the in-between of Earth and what is soon to be destined as Eden, then it is known to be both good and bad, with kind of a mysterious trait of not necessarily knowing what's true or not. It's basically like a weird, surreal, in-between area that's for magical girls only.
Okay.
And there's only 3 magical girls.
Wait! This is why they have superpowers.
The members that exist on Middle Earth are Kimlip, Jinsol, and Cherry. She's my favorite.
Why is she your favorite?
We'll get to it.
Okay.
It kind of goes full circle with you, considering you just love Cherry everything.
Then, with Eden. Eden is the 3rd dimensional
I love the
plane.
direct gloss over.
With
Right?
Eden, I have a schedule to keep shitting. Eden is the 3rd dimensional plane on the Mobius strip. So if one side of the Mobius is to represent Earth, then the other side is to represent Eden, and the in-between is the Middle Earth. Almost like a sandwich. So Eden is considered the dark side of the Mobius and is known for more emotional or sinister concepts that have underlying creepy stuff going on.
That's why they're the emotions.
It's
Even though
meant to be an imitation of Earth rather than a perfect copy, and that's why typically the places that it's shown are big empty buildings and locations rather than bustling cities like we found on Earth. And the only thing that exists within it are the members themselves and maybe an occasional other being, possibly God. We'll get to that. The members that exist on Eden are Eve, Chu, hello, go on, and Olivia Hay. And Olivia Hay. And you know what? I can't get this out of my head, but the way the flash photography looks, it looks like all of their heads are disconnected from their bodies.
Yeah,
It does.
She looks insane. They all kind of look a little insane.
Does this look insane to you?
Just a little bit. I don't know.
She's staring into my soul.
There's like an emptiness in her eyes. Also, Aruda said, I think her favorite is Jinsol, Fish, Beta Baby, and
I
Gundam
would
and
say
Legos.
Jinsol is probably my second favorite, so you have good taste. Now, we're gonna get on to how these combine into common/accepted knowledge within the Looniverse. Because I'm going to preface this, and I want you to realize almost none of this is confirmed. This is literally all fan theories that have sprawled out into a big mess.
We
And
love it.
everyone has different interpretations, which is fun to some extent, but then a lot of people like claiming that their interpretation is what actually is happening when that's just not true. So let's go with what is I would say generally accepted. I would say there's some other things, but this is what we're gonna go with. So let me get through it.
Go ahead.
So we're gonna start with Heejin created the Looniverse, directly or indirectly. And I say this with that parenthesis comment because a lot of people can interpret Heejin, because she was technically the first member to debut, as creating the Looniverse because she was the first member to debut, or they think that she's literally God and she created the Looniverse and all of the girls within it. But we'll cover that. Another commonly accepted thing is that Vivi was killed, is now an android, then got her memory back.
She got her groove back.
It is just confirmed in general. Vivi's an android. That is literally in the music videos. And it's in what she has told the public. So that is confirmed whether we like it or not. Yojin was/is lost in a forest. Now this kind of covers what happened in 1/3, and we're gonna get to that more specifically with their story. But essentially Yojin went into a dark forest, we don't know why, and the rest of the girls in 1/3 are trying to find her. And I'm not 100% sure if they ever technically did. But she was lost. That happened. Okay, the other one.
Gosh.
Hyunjin is a mirror image of Cherry. Now, if you remember Hyunjin, she was in the 1/3 unit, and she was the second member to debut. So you might be wondering, why would she be the mirror of a girl in Odd Eye Circle? I'm not gonna explain that right now, but it's commonly thought to be true, considering all of the things that have been referenced in multiple music videos and a bunch of other things. As typically when Cherry shows up, Hyunjin is also there to act as a mirror image, and even when she's not supposed to be in the video itself, because she appears in Odd Eye Circle videos, even though she's not a part of that unit. So, the next one is that odd eyes are associated from moons. And what that means is all of the members of Odd Eye Circle, the subunit, have odd eyes. And odd eye is just technically the Korean term for heterochromia. That's what they use, but that's not what it means in this context either, because they don't have heterochromia. They just have rings around their right and left eyes that glow their significant colors. So with Kim Lip and Jinsol, they both have a red and blue ring respectively around their left eyes, and Cherry has a purple ring around her right eye. And that is what is thought to be the source of their superpowers, so to speak. That's why I will constantly refer to them as the magical girls of the Looniverse.
Gotcha.
So, with that in mind, another thing is that Cherry used to be a normal girl from Earth. And this is supported by her solo debut music video, where she is seen hanging out with Yojin, who was not lost in this situation, and Hustle. And that is where the beginning of the song is. And a common theory is that Cherry specifically has white as a subcolor because she was originally from the Earth dimension.
I think it's pure and everything.
Versus Jinsoul possibly could have started from the Eden dimension, and that's why her subcolor is black. So that's just something. But Cherry did in fact used to be normal, and she was given the odd eye power from Jinsoul technically because she ate a cherry that Jinsoul put on a piece of cake. So
Okay.
another thing is that Chu is in love with Eve. Yes, this Chu, and yes, that Eve. Basically, Chu's entire music video revolves around her stalking Eve.
Oh.
Okay.
In a loving way.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And eventually, I think the main thing, I mean, we'll get to it more in depth later, but technically speaking, I think Chu thought she wanted to be like Eve when in reality she wanted to be with her. And that was the entire concept of the video, and it plays into what why by why exists to represent in the Looniverse. And speaking of why by why, Go-On has some kind of weird extra power because she's often seen with her animal, the butterflies, and after she's seen with them, weird things start to happen, including this shot from, I believe, the Why Not music video, where she is seen hovering over the Earth where a hurricane is forming. And a lot of people like to speculate that she is commanding an army of butterflies to fly in the motion of a hurricane to make it happen.
I don't know.
I'm not
okay.
saying that's what happened, but I am saying I think she has something extra going on.
It's a theory, remember?
It also might help to explain why she is the Dorito versus the normal triangles, because she is the only one that is different out of these four.
Okay.
So, Olivia was left behind. Now, what that means is that in the events of Why by Why, basically Eve, Chu, and Go-On are best friends, and Olivia is not their best friend. And I can't necessarily tell whether or not it's because they just genuinely don't like her, or if it's because the way that Eve exists in that plane of existence kind of mirrors like the fall from Eden, and so it might be that Olivia's sticking to the old ways even though she eventually leaves. But regardless, Eve, Chu, and Go-On eventually leave Eden, and they leave Olivia behind. And Olivia is stuck in Eden until the girls from Odd Eye Circle come and get her in their Hi Hi music video. And then another common / accepted fact is that the entire universe, or Looniverse, my bad, is stuck in a loop, a time loop specifically, where seemingly either it's the same day or it's the same year. All we know is that something keeps repeating over and over and over again, and they're all stuck in it. And one of the main reasons that this kind of is like accepted is because of how a Mobius strip works in and of itself, of how it's constantly going in and of itself, and so it's never truly ending. And people think that that's why the dimensions are representing different sides of it, and so the whole point of it is that they're trying to break from the Mobius and stop the loop from continuously happening. Now we're gonna get into some crack theories because
Can't wait.
these are some other theories that are also semi-believed. It depends on who you ask. I'll just briefly go through them because there's a lot of them. So first one, Looniverse is just a dream. A lot of people, I say a lot of people, some people think that the entirety of it is like a hallucinogenic dream. Vivi is from Eden. Some people think that Vivi was originally from Eden because she's technically supposed to be Eve's counterpart, and that eventually she was cast out, and that's why she had to become an android, because that was the price for leaving Eden. Some people think that Yojin was actually lost in a forest in Eden, and that's why no one can find her, because the girls from the 1/3 world can't travel to a different dimension.
Where the fuck is she?
Another
No one
one
knows.
is that Vivi has an odd eye and can see into the future, as represented with photos like this from their 1/3 music video. Now, I don't believe this, because I think they just showed this to show that she was an android, but some people think she used to have an odd eye. Another one is that Eve killed Vivi and is trying to overthrow Heejin as God. So in this theory, Eve is kind of supposed to represent like original sin because of the whole Eden thing, and she goes on a date with Vivi in her music video, and at the end of it kills her. And so Heejin, being friends with Vivi, resurrects her as an android, because Heejin, you know, in this universe also is God and created all of the Looniverse. And Eve's ultimate goal is to gain enough power to overthrow Heejin as the god of the Looniverse. But yeah, another theory is that Hustle turned evil after killing herself, because in her music video she shot herself with a diamond in a wig, and
What?
people think that she was killing the good part of herself off, and so after that, that's when she turned evil. And then another one is that Luna is all one person, kind of similar to the dream theory, where it's like they're all just facets of a single person, but like split up into different places in different dimensions. So I guess in one way, this could be Sarah's lore internally.
That's fair.
That all of her characters are just one people as her. And then another theory is that Olivia is actually split up into YY by Y, all of the 4 members. Because a lot of people, and with some of the teasers that exist, think that Olivia was the original person that existed in Eden, but all of the rest of the members of YY by Y were split up emotions from her, because all of the stuff that surrounds the YY by Y stuff revolves around the ego. And so people think that it's just different facets of the same person that was originally Olivia by herself, and Olivia just ended up becoming the anger version. We don't know why she was split. There's other theories that think that she was split by Heejin as punishment, a whole thing, or that Olivia is Heejin but darker, and she's trying to mirror the 1/3 universe essentially, and the girls and the friendship in Eden, but it doesn't work out for her and they end up leaving her. And then another one is that Go-On keeps making new timelines. So remember how I said Go-On may or may not have more power than she's letting on? So a lot of people think that Go-On controls the butterfly effect, because her animal is the butterfly, and that she keeps changing things and making new timelines that split off when something doesn't go the way that they want. And that's why every music video seems to keep changing what's going on. And
But
then,
she's not the one with the powers, is she?
well, we don't know.
She's the Dorito girl.
She's the Dorito girl.
Yeah, but because she's in the 3rd subunit, and the ones who have superpowers or whatever.
Yeah,
are
but
the odd
everyone
eyes.
kind of thinks she has something extra going on because she's the different one within the subunit.
Okay.
And so, another one, color theory, and how it represents the members, including how the colors are mixed together, and how they could create things such as all of the members of Eden having less vibrant colors than the members of 1/3, and how the main colors of Odd Eye Circle are big primary colors, except for purple, but we'll get into that. Another one is that each member mirrors each other in the way that they debuted. So Heejin mirrors Olivia, Vivi mirrors Eve, it's a whole thing. That's how some people think it's entirely mirrored, which means that Jinsoul is technically the middle member, which I don't think is true, because I feel like that just doesn't work at all for what they're trying to do. There's mirroring in the Looniverse, but I don't think it has to do with the members specifically. Another one is that Olivia tainted Jinsoul and possibly Eve. Now, this is all brought into effect because in Olivia's music video, Jinsoul is there. She features on the track of Olivia, and that on top of the fact that one of Olivia's colors is black, and Eve's color is burgundy, which is just a darker form of red, which Kimlip already has, and Jinsoul's other subcolor is also black. So some people think that Olivia specifically had tainted both Jinsoul and Eve to kind of, because she's the representation of anger, and so she kind of just wants to see chaos happen in the world, which is possible. I don't know, we'll see. Oh, and then the chess theory. This one's annoying because a lot of people compare all of the members to members of a chessboard, but not on one side, on different sides, and with different roles. And I just think it's a big stretch, and that's saying something. Another one is that Jinsoul killed Vivi after she rescued her from the basement in Hong Kong.
What?
So this was technically a canon event, not Vivi getting killed by Jinsoul, but Vivi rescuing Jinsoul from a basement in Hong Kong. Because there are teasers and specific videos that were shared in exclusive fan meetings and stuff that happened, where they showed Vivi opening up a door to a basement where Jinsoul was, and Jinsoul walking out and all that stuff. But people think that Jinsoul is also secretly evil because of the whole blue and black thing, in that she killed Vivi, and that's who killed Vivi. Because no matter what, people don't know who killed Vivi technically, or what made her officially into an android, I would say.
I was about to say, I thought it was confirmed that Eve killed Vivi because in one of the music videos.
No.
She killed Vivi.
People think Eve killed Vivi, but it's not confirmed. All we know is that Eve has spent time with Vivi before.
Why is Vivi getting killed twice?
She's not. Only one of the times is true, or none of the times is true.
Okay. Okay.
I thought it was confirmed that she did die at some point to become an android.
We think she died, but we don't know.
Okay.
The most we know is that she is an android, but we don't know. And we know that she used to be a human because her human memories came back after she unplugged herself. But
she turned it off and on again.
But we don't know how she became the android.
Okay.
And that's where all the theories come in. And then another one is that Hyunjin was an Odd Eye Circle member and that she helped create the rest of LOONA. This I could semi-believe solely based off of a bunch of clues that are laid in both Odd Eye Circle and how color works, because obviously red, blue, and yellow are primary colors used to make a bunch of different other colors. And a lot of people think that Hyunjin was originally a member of Odd Eye Circle, but she missed Heejin, and so she went to live with Heejin on Earth, getting rid of her Odd Eye Circle title. And so that's why Kimlip and Jinsoul needed to create a third member to fully actually rein in the rest of the members. And then another one is that Olivia is Lucifer.
Oh no.
Now, again, similar to how there's like Bible iconography and like representation in the whole Eden thing, in Olivia's music video, there's a lot of fallen angel stuff that is shown, including her literally waking up on a mattress at the bottom of a giant, I guess, stairwell, and there's feathers all around her, essentially. And so a lot of people think that she's supposed to be the representation of chaos and evil, and that her falling from Eden is what started the collapse of the Looniverse and made bad things start to happen.
So it's her fault.
That's what some people think. I don't think it is, but you know, it could be. Another one is that Hyunjin's the truck. So this one,
Muse under the truck.
Did somebody get hit by a truck?
No. Almost, but no. In Hostle's music video, which came out after Hyunjin's, Hostel is being driven to a plane crash in Iceland in a yellow truck. And people like making the connections because there's a lot of symbology in all of the LOONA videos between colors, animals, locations. And so people make the connection that the yellow truck could represent Hyunjin because Hyunjin's color is yellow, and it could be Hyunjin directing Hostel to confront herself and end up choosing truth over love, and that's why Yojin is lost in the forest, and that's why she had to kill herself with a diamond. But then also in Odd Eye Circle music video, specifically Girlfriend, Hyunjin is not only in Girlfriend for a brief section of time, this also fuels into why people think she used to be a member of Odd Eye Circle. But then also the same yellow truck, well, not the same one, but another yellow truck that looks very similar, is also shown in that music video. And so people think Hyunjin is represented by this yellow truck.
Okay.
Okay.
Another one is that Eves used to be in love with Vivi. And that's why they had that entire date scene in Eve's music video. Which could be possible. She clearly knew Vivi at some point. I don't know whether this is true or if this fuels more into the Vivi got killed by Eve, but all we know is that they met at some point. That's confirmed just in the music videos. Some people thought the caretaker in YY by Y was Grimes.
Like
the music person.
The artist, right?
Yes, because in YY by Y's title track Love Forever, it featured Grimes. And so people thought that the white woman that was looking at them and scrutinizing them was Grimes. This one's a crack one. We don't need to talk about it. But then there's also all the ties to Christianity, Judaism, Norse and Greek mythology within representation of the music videos, which I feel like is less of a theory and more of a parallel, because I do think a lot of the music videos draw parallels with already existing media, including like written stuff and different kinds of artwork. And then another one is that someone tainted Jinsoul, specifically probably Olivia. And that Jinsoul started turning evil in like making other people evil. Because one of the main points that people like to bring up is that Jinsoul's animal is a blue betta fish. And those are supposed to be kept alone because otherwise they'll start killing the other fish in the tank. And so people think that Jinsoul was specifically secluded by herself on purpose because they feared what she would do. And so, yeah. Another one is that Eve is Vivi's mirror and that she turned evil by eating the forbidden fruit in Eden. And this kind of ties back into the mirror images of how everyone's kind of a mirror of each other on a reverse thing of who debuted when. And because Eve is Vivi's technical, like, debut mirror, and so people think that Eve was created to be like Vivi in her human form, all innocent and nice, but that she turned evil after she ate the apple in Eden, and that's what made her start doing bad things, and maybe that's possibly why she killed Vivi. And then Cherry's the frog.
frog.
Cherry's the frog.
This has to
Cherry's just
do
the frog.
with Yojin's music video, where Yojin is being accosted by this frog prince. And people think that the frog prince is actually Cherry in disguise as the frog prince trying to tempt Yojin to the dark side. So yeah.
Oh my god.
Those were just some other theories. Now we're gonna get into the other stuff that's kind of confirmed.
It's just a theory, a K-pop theory.
These are less theories and more what actually happens in the videos. And I will briefly go over it unless you ask questions and you want details for something. I will try and answer the questions to the best of my ability. So, this is 1/3's story arc, so to speak. They have the easiest story arc because they're normal people other than Yojin getting lost in a weird dark ass forest. So it starts with Heejin's video where she's in a black and white world. She gets bored. She makes vivid colors as she's slacking off. Because she's essentially told in the music video that she needs to clean the place by a different Heejin dressed in black clothes and speaking in French. And then she starts cleaning. She finds some rabbits. The furniture starts melting. She's in a bathtub, and then colors.
What? What?
Listen, this would be so much easier if I could show you all the videos, but we don't have time for that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
No, we don't have the time for that.
Hyunjin's video. She is continuously writing letters to someone in a house in Japan. And she's walking around with them, trying to give them to a barber and then to a cat, before she eventually sits down with a giant cat head on and meets Heejin for the first time on a bench.
What?
Why did she have a cat head on?
because I think it's less literal with this. I think it's more like she represents a cat.
Oh,
It's fine.
why not just give her a little cute little
Once again, we don't represent.
How dare you, Shinny?
I don't care.
Hassels is a bit more deep, kind of. She's riding in that yellow truck that I mentioned, but the truck isn't being driven by anyone, but it's going along a road. And then she gets out and she follows a trail of diamonds on a beach to a plane crash where she spots herself as a boy in a blonde wig and she shoots herself with a diamond.
What?
How do you shoot with diamond?
She used a slingshot.
Ah.
And when she goes to his body, it's just a white bird. So,
Okay.
yeah. In Yojin's music video, she dreams of being a princess and wakes up to find that the real frog prince is coming to try and get her to kiss him, to which she keeps denying and running away before eventually she almost goes through with it, but instead, at the end, she vomits an Airhead sour strip.
Gosh.
She definitely didn't end up kissing the frog. Keep in mind, she was 14 at the time, and the entire song is called Kiss Later, and it's about how I'm too young to be doing this, so let's just move, let's wait till college.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Hey.
So then we move on to Love and Live, and we cover this before we cover VV, because this is technically how it debuted. So, in Love and Live, it centers around Heejin, Hyunjin, Hustle, and VV as they run in a relay race. And this is all while they're slowly discovering that Vivi is actually an android by witnessing her charging with her charging backpack, and how she doesn't drink juice boxes, and how she can make a 3-point shot, and how she doesn't get tired when she runs.
I mean, caffeine, you know?
Ultimately, Vivi unplugs from her power source and she just goes. She just starts running, and she runs through a field, she runs through the streets, until inevitably she ran out of power, and that's when her previous memories from being a human show up. Because in the entire Love and Live music video, she's very robotic looking, with like little to no emotion, but she wants to feel like the other members do, and that's one of the reasons why people think she unplugs herself in the first place. So moving on to Vivi's music video, now she's much less robotic looking and acting too. She works in a roller rink where she fantasizes about a boy that goes there as the rest of 1/3 skate around, and she ends up waking up in the end and moves on. Like, it's really cut and dry. I told you some of these music videos are really simple. And then in Love and Evil, which was the repackaged that came out, and the song that was the main title track was called Sonatine. Basically it has the girls singing to, instead of a more innocent tune, a more dark song that kind of sounds ominous, and they're now on the streets and rooftops of Hong Kong at night versus when they were somewhere in the daytime for Love and Live.
Yeah, those are some dangerous areas.
And the song itself is supposed to represent a girl lost in the forest while 4 others go after her to cast a spell of love. This is from the album description.
Okay.
So the contrast between Love and Live versus Love and Evil is kind of supposed to be the dichotomy of a typical K-pop sound, because if you heard Love and Live, it sounds like what you would think a K-pop sound sounds like. Versus Love and Evil, it kind of creepy. Like, it's kind of creepy, and it's very melancholic, and the whole point of it was that Love and Live was supposed to be about a girl's first crush, versus Love and Evil was supposed to be about a girl's first heartbreak. And it was supposed to have the differences between how love is supposed to be either really sweet or possibly really cruel, and that was their whole concept of the 1/3 unit. And so another thing is that Love and Evil specifically mentions how it materializes a girl who gets lost in a dark forest, and that the girls who just got lost in the forest have gathered here to possibly save Yojin. This is why everyone says Yojin's lost in a forest, because this is literally how they're framing it to be. And
she walked in that forest and never seen again.
Apparently not. And at the end of 1/3's lifespan, I don't know if they found her. I really don't. But all I know is that the 1/3 unit was meant to be a very pure and innocent version of a cliche young girl, essentially, in her experiences. That was their whole shtick. They were supposed to be very like lovey-dovey in how they represented themselves, and it's kind of supposed to be the main representation that links back to our actual world, and it's supposed to ground the Loonaverse in saying that this is the closest that you will get to actual Earth, and this is how it's represented in here. So moving on.
Hold on. I'll go back. What's that small text there?
This was me not knowing how I could fit it in, so I just put it in.
Okay.
It's like, this is literally, it's supposed to talk about sweetness and cruelty in first love, of the possible heartbreak and unknown emotions that come with it, versus innocent pure light image of how they're supposed to be represented. So then there's this.
Oh God.
I really
boy.
tried to condense it. I'm not kidding you, but Odd Eye Circle is the most lore filled out of the three.
I wonder why.
They are the magical girls, so
They are.
we're gonna go through it. So we're gonna start with Kim Lips. She has a song called Eclipse. It starts with her walking with a backpack into the middle of an abandoned building with a circular red platform, and she gets on top of it and starts dancing, all while multiple cuts of Owl's Eclipse's lips, eyes, and the color red are dispersed throughout the video. And she ends the video by turning around to the sound of an owl before walking out of the building and grabbing her backpack along the way. It seems very simple, but this was kind of meant to be like the beginning of Odd Eye Circle. So all of the like almost subliminal messaging and like imagery that's shown throughout it is meant to be like the beginning of what Odd Eye Circle was supposed to be.
She's
Especially
casting a spell, you know? That's
especially with how vivid the colors were versus all of the 1/3 stuff. Everything in Odd Eye Circle is extremely colorized, and it's very important that it's colorized because their colors mean something.
Okay.
And then in Jinsoul's video, she's walking on an empty runway at night, holding a blue betta fish in a plastic bag, when all of a sudden she sees something that catches her eye. And listen, why is this part funny to you?
She's just holding up a fish in a fucking bag.
When all of a sudden she sees something that catches her eye and she begins to run after it. She stops and holds out her hand as if she feels drops of rain before she breaks into a dance that is split between 3 separate scenes, all with different depictions of water, but none of them are actually rain. So in one of the scenes, she's dancing in like a pool of water with backup dancers, and the other scene, she is dancing with a bunch of blue line lights kind of that look like tubes, but because they look like tubes and they're facing vertically, they look like kind of streaks of rain. And then in the other one, there's this pixel sorter effect that makes it look like there's glitching that shows a bunch of the colors of the video, and it looks like it's dripping from the top of the video, so it makes it look like rain even though it's not actually rain. So this is important because she takes her blue fish to a giant tank of goldfish and it shows scenes with her alone in a specific tank are also shown. So there's scenes of her walking through what looks like a pet store with a bunch of goldfish in tanks, but then there's also a scene of her just sitting alone in a tank in a blue dress, basically trying to represent that she is the fish. She is fish. And so it ends up with her putting the blue betta fish inside the tank with all of the rest of the goldfish. Bad idea. That fish is gonna kill them all.
Yeah.
But before she puts the fish inside of the tank, it cuts to her specifically floating in the blue dress that she was in the tank before, underwater, but she's floating above the empty runway that she was running on before. And then she finally gets a scene of her dancing in the rain as she's soaking wet, and it ends with her holding that plastic bag, but now there's no fish in it and it's empty. Are you with me?
Sure.
Kind of.
Oh
Now-
boy.
now
I'm
we move
glad
on to
y'all doing
Cherry.
better than me.
Glad all the names are bolded.
I wanted to
real.
make sure that you knew who was in each unit. Because Odd Eye Circle is a hot unit, a summer unit. So, okay, so
They have seasons too?
no, they debuted in the summertime. That's all I mean.
Okay, okay.
You gotta be careful.
So,
I feel
in-
like the boat is sinking though.
I feel
In
like I
Cherry's music
I need
video.
to take notes at this point.
This is what the VODs are for. In Cherry's music video, she is walking around on a beach before showing up at a house that Hassel and Yojin are at. So, and that's where Hassel flashes Cherry's eyes with a mirror.
Oh my god.
She doesn't blind her. She flashes her eyes with a mirror. Well, no, Cherry flashes at Hassel with a compact that she has to show that she's outside, essentially. This comes back into play later. I mentioned it for a reason. Once Cherry comes inside, they begin to hang out together doing basic normal Earth Girl things where they're like playing games, playing in the pool, eating snacks, and they're all filming each other on like a little camcorder, and it's very normal. But then Cherry turns around and finds a piece of cake on the bed with a cherry on top, doesn't question how it got there, just goes over to it, takes the cherry off of it, eats it, and then falls into a coma, where she then starts having a weird purple dream with Kimlip and Jinsoul dancing behind her, as images of a purple moon and a fruit bat are flashing on the screen. And then she wakes up, and now she's in a different bed in an abandoned building. Kimlip is outside flashing Cherry in the eyes with a mirror, just how she flashed Hassel in the eyes with a mirror to get her to come outside and follow her. And when Cherry walks outside into the weird world that she's been transported to, she comes across a giant field full of mirrors, 12 mirrors specifically. And they're all on the ground, and she kneels down in front of one where she sees her reflection acting of its own accord, and it drops a cherry through the mirror, and she catches it in her hand. And what does she do? She eats it again. And when she eats it again, she has another purple fever dream, where Kimlip and Jinsoul are there again, and there's more bats, and there's more red, blue, and purple moons. And then she wakes up again, but this time she's sitting in an upside down tree, a purple upside down tree to be specific, and now everything in the world that she was in before is purple, from the grass to the trees to the sky. Everything's purple. And there's 2 other moons now with the purple moon, which is a red one and a blue one to represent Kimlip and Jinsoul, and it ends with her standing with Kimlip and Jinsoul in white dresses ominously in front of a pool that's reflecting their reflection back at the viewer.
It poisoned her. It killed her.
She's not
That's
dead.
what I'm getting.
The whole point of this was supposed to be, this is when Cherry was turned from a normal high school girl into one of the Odd-Eye girls, and that they specifically needed to make another Odd-Eye girl because she has the power of dimensional travel, which the other 2 don't have, and so they needed Cherry in order to get the rest of the girls. So, moving on.
So they out here kidnapping the other girls from the other universes?
We'll get to it.
We'll get to that.
So, then we have the music video of Girlfriend, which is their first music video as a full unit. Hot unit, summer unit, debuted in summertime, Shini. It shows the 3 members by themselves, all running around seemingly looking for something or someone, and they all have callbacks to their powers, as well as moments that show off their odd eyes specifically in play. And so Jinsoul is like teleporting all around, Kimlip is speeding up and slowing down time and like running in loops around, and Cherry is finding a different version of herself that's also flashing her with mirror in the eye. They love blinding each other apparently. And basically they are trying to look for the rest of the members of LOONA, as represented by the fact that they all have this big map that has all the stickers with all the representative animals on it, and they're just trying to find all of the members essentially. And they finally end up uniting the 3 of them, because like they were also looking for each other in a way, because they hadn't found each other up until that point. And they unite on a rooftop, and they stare up at a fully eclipsed moon that is the color red, blue, and purple, you know, because Odd-Eye circle. And the video ends with Kimlip looking at herself from behind before she turns around, and a cassette player switches from rewinding tape to playing it instead. This is important. I'm only including it because it's important.
Okay.
The only thing you really need to care about in the Lunatic music video, which is one of the B-sides that came off of the Mix and Match EP, was that there's this unknown girl that is circling the 3 members as they sit on the floor looking at the map. And the girl is holding a cassette player. And in the description specifically, it's described that the girl that's running circles around them is a member that hasn't been revealed yet, which means it has to be someone from the YY by Y people. And then they have, in their repackage, they came out with Sweet Crazy Love. And this is supposed to be a prequel to the events that happened in all of the music videos of Odd Eye Circle thus far. So the music video starts in black and white, with all the girls in separate locations. Jinsol has an eye patch on her odd eye, Kimlip's walking down a dark alley with neon signs, and Cherry's in what looks like an empty parking complex underground. And Jinsol's just sitting on the subway train alone, with her earphones in and a fish in a plastic bag because that's her favorite thing.
Here we go with the fish again.
Jinsol removes her eye patch to reveal her odd eye as she stares at the fish, and that's when her odd eye specifically starts glowing. Cherry's asleep in the car, in a car, not a yellow car, but in a car that passes by Kimlip in the alleyway. And right as she passes by, Cherry begins to wake up, and Kimlip looks after the car, and it flashes to Kimlip's eye also showing. And after this is when all of the color comes back into the music video. And so it shows not only Jinsol having her odd eye awakened, but then also Kimlip having her odd eye awakened. And Cherry's the only one that didn't get her odd eye awakened because at this point she was just a normal high schooler.
She had to be drugged.
Oh my god.
She had to get drugged by the cherry.
And so basically it ends with Kimlip walking back to her backpack, picking it up. And then the end of the Sweet Crazy Love video is what starts Kimlip's Eclipse video. And so that's how they connect them as being a prequel.
Okay.
So, the main difference between 1/3 and Odd Eye Circle, not YY by Y, because we're not comparing them so far, is that 1/3 was a very like cute, innocent, very K-poppy, nice little group talking about all kinds of stuff about love and how they're shy and scared. But Odd Eye Circle, as I put in the words here, is about taking love by the balls and telling it to be your bitch. Because all of the lyrics in Odd Eye Circle and their entire concept is, instead of being timid about a first crush and having innocent feelings, they're more along the lines of, I have a crush on you or I like you, I'm just gonna tell you. And I'm just gonna like start this entire interaction rather than like pining around for you. And so because of that, they also, all of their videos and their songs have more of a girl crush theme, which basically just means a more mature vibe compared to what the 1/3 unit's entire discography was. And the entire foundation of Odd Eye Circle was done on the principle that Kimlip was creating a new circle. That was literally what the words were, and it was heavily revolving around the colors of the circle, and that's also why their shapes specifically are circles and how they make up an entire Odd Eye Circle.
Excuse me.
Because
Sorry.
technically speaking, the odd in Odd Eye Circle stands not only for the normal meaning of odd, but also for the 3 moons that are supposed to be linked to their eyes, with the O being the eclipsed one that Kimlip has, and the other 2 crescent ones being Jinsol's and Cherry's. And their colors being as vibrant as they were too also plays a key part. And that's also why a bunch of the theories from before, like with the primary colors of Hyunjin being yellow in there, are so prominent, because people think that's what makes more sense to keep them mixing the colors to make the other girls in all of the units. But yeah. Anyways, after Odd Eye Circle, we have YY by Y, much smaller. But also this is, I think, I don't remember what I wrote.
This is funny late at night that I'm resulting to watching the music video one time and briefly describing it with no context. God
So
dang.
I don't remember what I wrote. I will read it word for word just because I think it could be funny. So Eve's music video for New. Eve eats. That's honestly what this video should have been called. She eats like so many apples, but not like eating them, just taking bites of them, then throwing them at people. Yogurt too. That shit got all over the floor. I kid you not. She just keeps munching, then hitting stuffed animals. Like, I can see why people think she killed Vivi with this behavior. Oh right, Vivi was there. She rolled around on skates with Eve in a bowling alley like a date. Then Eve dropped an apple at Cherry. There was a claw machine and some keychains. It's a whole thing.
Okay.
I mean, that's all you really need to know, honestly. Like, I can get in, I'll go in depth when we go into why by why, but like, and then, okay, let's do Choose. Okay, so Chu is like so confused. She really needs a better hobby. So she has this apple, right? And it's green instead of red, but it also like keeps getting bigger too. And she has this fucking telescopic camera to take pictures of Eve in melee range, like full-blown stalker material. I think the whole point is that Chu is confusing wanting to be like Eve with wanting to just be with Eve, because when she finally bites her own damn apple, it turns from green to red and she gets flashes of spending Christmas with Eve before being knocked out on the street to be woken up by Hostel. So yeah.
Okay.
And then for Go On, I'm not gonna read the first bit because
Yes, go on,
the queen.
listen, she's just playing tag with Eve and Chu, but they're being really fucking creepy about it and hanging around corners to chase her. Then Cherry is like trying to concuss her by dropping apples from the ceiling.
See, Cherry is fucked up. Like, this is what you like with Cherry.
All while Go On is desperately trying to hide and play shadow puppets with herself. And I think her ultimate dream was to like wear a chandelier on her head or something, but Eve gave her a crown and whispered that she was the prettiest princess in the world, which made her smile. She ate a pineapple and turned blonde, and then she started running around with them before leaving. This just feels like what I describe my dreams like when I'm writing them down.
You can tell that you just kind of gave up on this, honestly, at this point.
Okay, so in Olivia's, her song is called Egoist. Just thought you should know, because it is kind of important. So Olivia is big mad about something.
I don't blame her.
She woke up from a nap and she was not happy about it.
I feel her already.
And everything is turning red. Oh my lord. You'd think Kimberly Lippington had something to do with this, but no. Here comes Jin Soul surrounded by like 25 cans of cherries that she apparently ate. Olivia is laying on the bed she woke up on, and there's a claw that is like terrible at aiming. Then she eats a plum and she also sees a wolf, but then she's okay but also still angry, and she sees Heejin on the roof.
That's the most normal one out of all of them, though.
Kimberly Lippington.
Yes.
That's the normal one. Okay.
See, the funny part is, I didn't do the video justice because it's not normal. But this is just a brief description.
Oh boy.
And then Love Forever is the track that YY by Y had. They're also the only one of the 3 subunits that didn't get a repackage album, which is sad, but you know, it is what it is. So Love Forever just describes my high school experience, to be honest.
Damn.
The secret is that Eve, Chu, and Go On all don't like Olivia, but let me tell you, a bitch knows and she's not happy. Also, random white lady who absolutely despises dirty socks. They start eating roses, then running again, all that damn running, and there's Olivia, and she's turning things red all alone again as she goes into the forest, that damn forest. So yeah. Basically, what happens in this video is they all leave Olivia behind with the random white lady that doesn't like dirty socks.
Hell, she'd probably be calmer without them around.
So, what did I write here? So, like, weirdly enough, all songs that are on Beauty and the Beat, which is what their mini album was called, were like more pure than the stuff from 1/3, too pure, if you know what I'm talking about. They sing about love with youth so shiny to seem luminous, which is in contrast to the Love Forever video is just jarring, but I'm pretty sure that's the point they're trying to sell. Like how, I think what I'm trying to get at here is that because they're set in Eden, and Eden's supposed to be a mirror image but not a perfect copy, and it's supposed to be like an idealistic utopian world, all of
kind of like Uncanny Valley type of thing.
So like all of their songs being even more cutesy and innocent than say 1/3. Meanwhile, the videos are showing like everyone leaving Olivia and Olivia getting mad. It's just the dichotomy of showing what it actually was like versus how it was represented in Eden. And the ultimate theme of Why was focusing on the egos of each member individually, and that the solution to most of their problems lied in loving oneself and going through the situation of finding out what you want rather than what other people want of you, even if it seems selfish to others, like possibly in Eve's case. So why are you typing?
Oh, I'm just interacting.
Mm-hmm.
With your chat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyways,
I want them to be left out.
So it spread from Eve onward, from like she was the first one to eat the apple and want to leave, and then it went from Chu to go on, and then they left Olivia behind because she didn't eat it when they wanted her to. So
pressure didn't work, bitch.
Yep.
That was the units and their stories.
Oh my god.
That was.
I'm not done.
Don't get comfortable yet.
I mean, I'm still trying to process everything with just the lore. Oh my god.
Yeah, no, there's just, it's all over the place.
So
it's
then,
so much.
now I'm gonna cover the title tracks that were released post debut when they were together as a full 12-member unit.
Before one got fired.
Yes, as represented by the Chu Moval.
So there is 12?
True move. Damn.
There was 12 up until Flip That, and then she got removed, and then it was just Luminous, and then they are not together anymore. 12 members. 4 members in the first group, plus Yojin. 3 members in the second group, 4 members in the third group.
Like there was more than one album where there was just 11 people in.
Yeah, there's more than one album where there's more than 11 people. Everything from Hi Hi up until Flip That has 12 people. It's fine.
Okay.
Anyway, so we're gonna start with Hi Hi, and Hi Hi is their official debut, essentially. Now I'm just gonna give a brief overview because I did not want to have to describe the entirety of the music video to you. So Hi Hi, where the fuck are these bitches? I say that as the tagline because the whole point of Hi Hi was that they were all searching for each other. No.
Oh.
Odd Eye Circle are the only members that have the ability to traverse the dimensions because they have Cherry now, who can travel through dimensions. They have Jinsol, who can travel around in space in those dimensions, and they have Kimberly Lippington, who can specifically manipulate time to possibly speed up forward or even possibly change where they are on the time loop, because that's also something that's been speculated. So the whole point of this is that Hi Hi follows Odd Eye Circle as they go and they unite all 12 members. So they're out, they're running, they're always running, my god. And they are finding they first find all the members from the 1/3 Earth area, except for Yojin. She's still lost in a field this time, but they eventually find her, I think. And then after that, they go to find the girls in Why. The 3 of them are at an abandoned pool. And the Odd Eye Circle girls have to specifically travel into Eden to usurp Olivia from the throne of Eden, and they put her on top of a diving board where she sees Eve at the bottom, she smiles, and then she jumps, and then hi they're all united. And it ends with Heejin levitating off of the rooftop of a building into the sky, which is important, I promise. So
okay. I believe you.
Then we have Butterfly. I think we're in Eden now, but we all love each other, so it's okay. I say this because typically something that had been representative in their music videos is all of their music videos have intros where there's a moon that goes either from left to right, right to left, or it's also either it has color, it's white, or it's black with the background. and the moon changes color based off of what member it was representing. And so all of the members in Eden had their representative colors as the moon, but it was on a white background and it was going from right to left, versus in the 1/3 unit it was going from left to right, kind of trying to reinforce the Eden being a mirror of the real world. So in Butterfly, we see that the intro itself is from right to left, which kind of and they're in this like dreamlike place of a coliseum at sunset, where it's not a real location at all. And so the only connection that I can make is that they're in Eden now after uniting, and maybe that's where they ascended to from last time, and that's how Heejin floated off into God knows where.
Okay.
And
No, Heejin knows where. Because she's God.
if she's your God, I'll accept it, because that means you're participating.
We're
And
trying
so-
to. All right.
We're trying our hardest.
After Butterfly, we have So What. Get in, girlies, we're burning the moon. So the events of So What,
Of these things.
the events of So What begin with Olivia holding a torch menacingly, and she eventually throws it at the moon and burns it, because I think what happens is all of the teasers and stuff before So What happened were showing a bunch of things that happened in High or teasers for High, but playing in reverse. So you would see like Heejin, instead of floating up into the sky from the rooftop, it's now being played in reverse, where she's being pulled back down to the rooftop, and so on and so forth, and it just takes on a much darker turn. And so what's theorized to be happening in So What is that the loop, because they're stuck in a loop, has officially repeated, and in order to try and get out of the loop, what they're going to do is burn the moon down to try and see if they can escape it, because the moon holds big significance and their entire lore, iconography, all that stuff. So yeah, they burn the moon, there's meteors falling onto Earth, and it ends, funnily enough, with stuff playing in reverse again, as if the time loop is happening again. So burning it had no consequence, and nothing actually even progressed from then. So then we move on to Why Not. So we burn the moon down. Now what?
They burn the moon in Eden?
No, I think they just burn the moon in the Looniverse in general.
Okay.
Because maybe they thought that's what was causing the time loop. I don't know.
So wait, they burn one of them or three of them?
Well, the moons specifically that Odd Eye Circle have are separate from just the moon.
Okay.
But yeah. And then in Why Not, we move on from So What, and I think Why Not is kind of a continuation of what started to happen after the events of So What, because a lot of weird stuff starts going on in Why Not. There's things falling from the sky, lightning crashing all around. This is also where that hurricane shot with Gowon happened. They're all in a weird cult circle around a campfire on the moon, except Yojin's not there. Time is freezing and then reversing with like Jinsol in a telephone box, and the rain is stopping. And yeah. And I
Do you think of this as planned versus they just like the shots?
Well, funny you should say that. If we see that this is specifically after Jade and Jung left,
Yeah.
Then it's all just bullshit.
it could be. In my mind, I imagine his original idea for it went up to Butterfly from the pre-debut, and then everything on from there was them not making stuff up in the sense of random bullshit go, although that could be it. But I think they had an idea, but it was not the same as what was going to happen. And so, yeah, Why Not's chaotic, and if I remember correctly, it ends with Hyunjin staring up at the moon as a butterfly floats up from down at her feet, and she's missing a shoe.
Okay.
Okay. Is there significance of why she's missing a shoe?
Well, Why Not was on the album called 12, and a lot of people are trying to make significance that Hyunjin, that was supposed to be like a parallel to like the Cinderella story of missing your shoe at midnight, running away, all that stuff. There's a lot of theories. But then after Why Not, we have Paint the Town. When in doubt, just fucking nuke it and hope it combines well. So the way that Paint the Town worked is there's a lot there's callbacks in this video, because not only is Kim Lip and Jinsol wearing their previous outfits that they wore in their solo albums, but also they're in the building. Well, they're in a building that reminisces of where Kim Lip shot her Eclipse video, in like that circular building. And there's 12 gates all around. And one of the key points of it is that all of the members in Paint the Town are essentially in these weird ritualistic areas that have a lot of cosmic symbolism with them. Like Heejin has planets orbiting around her, and Hyunjin has this weird sensor that has yellow smoke, and it's just odd. And so it culminates to Kim Lip holding a black hole in her hands and shoving it up into the sky, and it cuts away, and then Kim Lip is replaced by Jinsol instead. So yeah.
Okay.
The way that I think it works is that they essentially saw that burning it down did nothing, and so they're literally trying to completely reset the universe by getting rid of it. And yeah, so the next one was the Japanese single Hula Hoop, and it's just a J-pop song.
I feel like all this subtext is just an underlying of their career just slowly going down also.
But their video itself has a lot of callbacks to Looniverse lore in it, and it's a really good video, but I don't think it has anything to do with the lore. And then flip that, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know what lore there is in Flip That. Because the only thing I can think of is that at some point, like, they were on a train, and then Olivia dropped a lollipop and she went to pick it up, and they were suddenly in a bushy train. And then they started like hanging out together in the forest. They went through these doors because they found keys that unlocked them. And then they made it to this like weird backrooms pool room situation that was pink, and they looked through a telescope and saw themselves in a nighttime grotto. But they're all there and they're all happy together. And it ends with Olivia picking up the lollipop from a bush, and now they're on the train again.
She need to stop picking up fucking food.
That's real, man.
And then after that was the Chu removal, where Chu was removed from the group.
Oh,
Chu.
Rip. Poor Chu.
And then they released their Luminous song, which was their other J-pop song single. And I swear to God, it's a TikTok ad for walking, because the way it's filmed in a vertical format, and it's literally just them like catwalking a lot.
I kind of want to see this.
Oh, trust me, Shinny. If and when, I will definitely do a full watch party with all of you. I will make you watch every single LOONA video.
No, we don't have to do that.
Every single LOONA video.
You are gonna get tied down and forced to watch
Every single LOONA video. But yeah, so
not every single one.
That's what happened, and then they disbanded. But on a lighter note,
is it lighter?
It is lighter. Aww. Because after they disbanded, they all divided into other stuff under different companies that don't hate them. So, yay. And because they sued their company and their company lost, they gained the rights to all of their previous stage names, concepts, names for creative property, like the name LOONA and all that stuff. And so, literally,
oh, that's awesome.
Odd Eye Circle re-debuted as their own thing under an entertainment company called Mod House that has the original person, Jaden Jung, managing them and their creative direction.
Oh,
hell yeah.
And they joined that company. Heejin joined that company, and Hustle joined that company. And so they released something, she released something, and now they're releasing something as their new group, Artemis. And this is the group that I told Faye about. I don't know if she remembers, but I told her about it. And they have seemingly new lore. I would assume so from what I've seen, but it's very reminiscent of what LOONA stuff used to be. And all of the people that supported LOONA are supporting them, as well as all the other members too. And Chu had a solo debut, which everyone was happy about, because everyone was like, Chu was a busy person overall in general, because she had like a bunch of variety shows and stuff that she had booked because people liked her personality. But now she has music too that she released, and people think it has to do with the entire situation of being kicked out of LOONA, because it's kind of a sad but happy song.
Aww.
And then we have Lusemble, which is made up of 5 of the other girls: Gowon, Olivia, Hyunjin, Vivi, and Yojin. And notoriously, Gowon, Vivi, and Yojin used to get almost no lines in the songs of LOONA, but now they're in a group that actually lets them sing. So
Thank God.
Damn.
they first released this, and they're under the group name Lusemble because they have the rights to it. And so they went with Lusemble. They have separate lore than Artemis, possibly. They're like in space pods. I think Vivi's still an android. And then they just released a new album recently.
Keeping that dream alive.
And Artemis is actually set to release a new album soon, because they're having a bunch of pre-releases. Not the same as the normal pre-releases, but yeah. And the only person that isn't accounted for is Eve, but she is currently working on solo projects as well as producing music. So she's doing her own thing. But yeah,
You get it, girl.
they're all friends. They're all here. There is life after BBC. I mean, Blackberry.
I'm glad that they're all friends.
And yeah. So yeah, that's LOONAverse in a nutshell.
That is quite
Wow.
the nutshell.
That is quite the nutshell.
It's a small nutshell.
Small is a word that I wouldn't
So,
use.
Do you listen to all the groups, or do you have a favorite?
I would say, obviously, Odd Eye Circle is my favorite. Not just because of their concept. I do love a good magical girl, but because their music too, because they all release kind of in different genres. Their music is my taste more than anything.
Are they still releasing the same type of music?
Yes, for sure. In the thing that they released, Version Up, the songs that they released sounded very reminiscent of their old songs.
Okay.
Which is like kind of like a electro popish synthy sound.
Why is the, I don't know which one it is.
What?
But in the Version Up one, the one on the left, I'm very gay for her.
Oh, damn.
She's
That's Cherry.
Oh, shit.
That's
comes
my
full circle.
girl.
It
She's
comes full
hot.
circle. Yeah.
I think you just
she's
like a
hot,
girl in a
that's what
suit.
I do. I do love
I mean,
girl
they're all in a suit, though.
You're just calling her
Bam.
out on that one.
This was her when she was a baby, and then this is her when she's an adult.
She looks great.
So yeah.
Honestly, they all look
They
great.
all look great.
But yeah, I would say close second, YY, but I mainly just like Love Forever. I think I like their title tracks more than I like their entire subunit album. But then I like everything about Odd Eye Circle. And 1/3 I never fucked with. Like, the only person, funnily enough, that I think I like their song is Hustle. And it's something that I never thought I would even like. But yeah. Because it's very classic bubblegum K-poppy, which I like to an extent, but not as much in the way that they did it. But yeah.
Dear Lord.
So how long does this take you to make?
I took breaks.
I'm gonna use the same thing to make both my music theory episode that we do and my One Piece episode that we do.
You're welcome.
I can't wait to see that One Piece
I
episode.
mean, you did put a lot of work into this. This was very well done.
The only
I'm very
reason
funny.
it took so long is because of this.
I can
Yeah.
imagine.
This
Oh,
was
that
the
is.
issue.
Yeah. Also, probably like the music video breakdowns.
This literally, this face is how I feel. Right here. This is Kimberly Lippington. I am you right now because it drained me. I still love the Looniverse stuff. Don't get me wrong, but people crazy. And there's a lot of theories.
Is the Looniverse over since they separated, or is it still going?
Some people say yes, some people say no, because some people think that all of their activities here is like a continuation to some extent.
It's them if they escape the Looniverse.
Honestly, that could be the way they spin it.
So, are all of these under the same company, or are they all different? Okay.
These are under the same company. This is a different company. This is a different company.
Okay.
But people, they have literally, like, when they had concerts together, when they were doing stuff before they officially had their pre-release stuff together, they had little concerts that they hosted in Korea. And girls from here and even Eve, the one that doesn't have anything out officially, all came to their concert to watch them sing and everything. So if anything, I feel like they're trauma bonded because of everything they went through.
Probably.
Yeah, they've been through a lot.
And yeah, so it's gonna be a fun time. And guess what? Also, in their most recent album thing, so there's evil aliens. Vivi is an evil robot, and Yojin disappeared again because they love making her leave.
From a fucking forest, please.
They literally zapped her out of the sky from a UFO. Like, people think they killed her.
Oh, damn.
So
Jesus
yeah.
Christ, this girl just constantly is just in a state of just vanish.
It's because she's the baby.
That's the funny thing. She is the baby, but now she is like such an it girl. Like, you should see her in the videos. It's crazy. She was
I cannot
so
guarantee
tiny.
that I will like all the music, but I will watch them with you.
That's all I ask for. I mean, I don't think anyone's ever gonna like all of their music because, like I said, all of their music spans a lot of different genres.
That's also 12 singles plus
other songs on the album plus the subunits.
Yes, that's a lot.
But with that in mind, it also means even though they're gone, they left behind a legacy.
What?
Oh, you cut out.
You cut out.
Yeah,
Even though they're gone, they left behind a legacy.
Oh, okay.
They did.
A lot of music to listen to.
A lot.
A lot. So yeah.
Pre-debut and then post-debut.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
So yes, this was my
You can
lovely
come over
Loona.
one day and we can just have a Loona watch.
Oh my gosh, Faye can come over too. Shinny, you should come over too.
Right down here.
Shinny, I want you to come down to sit on a terrible beanbag chair that Sarah has right now.
God, that's already making my back hurt.
I would offer my armchair. I offered my armchair to you and you said no because it's me shaped.
It is.
Okay.
And the covering is coming off.
Listen, I can only do so much.
You're supposed to be getting your couch soon, so it'll be fine.
That is true.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But yeah. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. I'm not talking about the people watching, I'm talking about you guys.
This is very educational. Honestly, this held my attention a lot more than I thought it would.
Yeah, same.
It's because of how batshit it is.
It is batshit
It really
crazy.
is. Honestly, you kind of did lose me on like the fandom theory thing, because I was.
No, I love
drifting a little
those.
bit.
I love those.
Sarah loves a
what
good
the
crack
fuck?
ship.
I love a good crack.
Okay,
Just
well,
crack.
I wasn't
Sarah
gonna
is
say
crack.
anything, so.
But yeah, this is to me not even like one of my main interests, but because I got into it later, I think I got into them, funnily enough, around the resentment growing grove of the butterfly drought. Because like I had known about their singles beforehand, but I never fully checked them out. But this is about when I got into them. And so after I got into them, I learned all of this stuff and all of this stuff.
Who's your favorite group now?
Well, LOONA was never my favorite group, but I did like them as a group. I didn't like BBC. BBC Devil. BBC No.
BBC Bad.
Evil. BBC Evil.
Never
BBC
sound more
behave.
gay than that, but all right.
So is BBC gone? Like, because they got sued
Yes and
whatnot?
no. They haven't officially like claimed bankruptcy, but it wouldn't surprise me if they did. Like, okay.
Do they have any other bands?
No. Blackberry only had Luna. And the funny part is the Ilkwon group, their CEO has gotten in trouble with lawsuits and stuff because he's made some shady illegal arms deals to Russia as well as embezzlement. So
Oh, yay. Okay, love that.
So quite literally everything was destined to go downhill eventually.
It sounds like it.
But everyone is happy with where they are now. And I think that's the
That's what
important part.
matters.
Yes.
That it took
I'm
all
glad
of
that
this
they're
for
happy.
them to get here.
I can't believe that they weren't getting paid for that long.
Yeah.
I don't think that's uncommon in the
you want to know the
K-pop.
funny part? It's not
sphere, though.
uncommon, but also the funny part is the person that originally was the one that mentioned it was Yochin. She was the one that said, yeah, I don't have enough money to get a fancy bag because I haven't been paid since I debuted.
Oh,
And-
damn.
Good
and,
on her.
and she said that around the Flip That era. And she
wasn't the
debuted
one
back
that got
here.
there.
Oh, God.
So, yeah. And she wasn't the only one.
Wow.
Poor honey.
But
Well,
yeah.
all of them. Damn.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. If you think this is crazy, just wait until Sarah gets her One Piece episode.
I'm not even gonna go episode by episode or like arc by arc. I'm going timeline.
Oh, boy.
Oh boy,
I don't have
indeed.
to be there for that one, right?
Well, why not?
She wants you to.
Why? You were here for this one.
It's true.
Why don't you love me, Shani?
All right, Sarah. I will spare you if it goes more
She
than
will
one
spare you.
episode, one podcast. I'm not coming back.
It will only take one.
Yeah,
If
for
quiz,
how
That's
long?
why-
if quiz gets 2 hours, I get 2 hours.
That's why I was so surprised that Shini was like, oh, you could just split up the Luna thing into 2 episodes. And I was like, girl, no, you don't want this to be 2 episodes.
Well, considering how you were making it seem like it was a lot of information, I was just like, well, I mean, you
Is
can
this
know
not a lot of information?
It is, but it's just like, I mean, you can split it up into part 1, part 2.
It's fine.
Shani, you either have to be here for the One Piece episode or the music theory episode where
Video.
where I teach quiz music theory.
It might be more entertaining if it's the music theory one because I'm just gonna vehemently make her hate living by denying music theory.
I don't even know if I'd be able to hold my attention with music theory, honestly.
Same. But I have to be here.
I'm gonna make you.
I mean, sucks to be you.
You will understand the basics of music theory by the time I'm done with you.
So basically, it's gonna be a class.
Understand
Honestly, it sounds
versus
like
care are two different things.
I don't
music.
care. I don't. You don't need to
volunteer
care.
Faye to take my spot for that one then. So she
Okay,
was like,
so
it
you're
might be
gonna
fun.
be in. You're gonna be in the One Piece one then, right?
That'll be fine. I can do other things.
Wow.
Y'all are so mean to
I'll be listening.
What do you
I'll
mean?
be listening.
No, I'll still be here.
you give your full intention to quiz and then
Call
when it
it-
Both of
comes
you to
to
assume I was
me,
giving
I
him
was
my
about to say, you think
Food.
Shini wasn't like thinking of just cat
I-
videos in her mind?
I knew fully based on the questions you guys were asking that you guys weren't paying attention.
It's okay.
But
Sarah, I know a little bit about One Piece, and I said that I would be part of that video if you ever did make it.
Oh, well, okay, well.
Oh, we also need to finally, get Hida to come because he
Yeah,
keeps making up
one day.
excuses. Like, don't visit your grandma, Hide. She doesn't need
you
it.
have more important things to be doing.
You could have learned about Luna lore. But yeah.
I was gonna
Anyways,
say, I wonder, how much more do you have on your list?
a lot.
A lot.
A lot.
Damn. Okay.
This was a single episode that I specifically had as a backup for when we needed to do one with just one person.
Mm,
I'm gonna start making my One Piece music theory ones now.
yeah, you might as well start.
It's true. It's better to get it done because I didn't know I was going to be doing this until Friday. So
That is true.
But you know what? It's fine.
Well,
Yeah. Anyways, thank y'all for watching. If you stuck around this long, if not, I don't blame you. But yeah, this was Luna. And yeah, everybody say goodbye.
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 Bye bye.
Wow, you didn't say it with meaning.
Oh.